Hey, this is Pastor Karl from Kidology.org, and I am about to do something really crazy. I mean, insane. In fact, I have to warn you in advance, do not attempt to do this yourself in your own home. But before I get to that crazy thing I'm going to do, if you are friends with me on Facebook, you have seen my new hobby. For about the last year, I've become a droner, and I love taking my drone out and getting pictures. This thing is amazing, and I want to tell you some of the things that a drone can help you with in your children's ministry. It's a great way, obviously, to connect with kids. I mean, this is a new world. Kids have drones. Their world's going to be filled with drones. So when you can talk about drones, it's just a great relational ministry tool. You can also make some really cool videos for your kids' ministry. I mean, I've put things out on my sidewalk like a kid's toy and put the drone up, a couple hundred feet and had it come down slowly as the kids try to guess what the object is that I'm zooming in on. Had a lot of fun with that. And then of course your ministry videos and your highlight videos can be that much more exciting and engaging as you capture some pictures from up above. So it's a lot of fun, but the number one thing that a drone can do for your ministry, you don't even have to have a drone. But before I do that, let's get to the crazy thing. Here's what I'm going to do. I am actually going to attempt to take this off right here in my office. It is turning on. So this is a DJI Spark, and I'm going to put it right over here on the landing pad. And then I've got my RC remote, and there we go. Now it's actually controlled from your phone. So I'm gonna did I just show you my password? I did. Again, do not attempt to do this at home. You must be a professional. All right, there we go. Woo! The drone is flying, and you can tell it's yelling at me because it's, woo! There we go. Whoa! There we go. I'm gonna fly over here. Woo! If I'm not careful, I might end up getting a haircut. There we go. We'll go up a little bit. You can see it there. We'll come down. And then we're gonna go back over there. And now I'm going to land it. And just consider that I had a successful time with my drone. And there we go. Mission accomplished, and I didn't even crash. Well, I gotta tell you, the reason I enjoy this so much is this enables me to have a perspective on the world that otherwise a human being can't really have. This lets me see the world the way a bird sees the world. And I get to fly around and zoom in on things and check things out, and it is so much fun. So I think there's an object lesson here in the perspective that we need to have in our ministry. Isaiah 55:8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." We need to sometimes get a higher perspective of our ministry. In kids ministry, we get into the weeds. We're putting out fires. We have to order supplies, and we have to recruit, and we have to staff, and we have to train. And there's just all this stuff that we have to do. And sometimes we're just stuck down here, and we lose that perspective, and we need that higher perspective. In fact, Colossians 3:2 says, "Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things." So often we get so wrapped up in just the nitty-gritty, week in, week out details of children's ministry that we can burn out. We can get to a point where we kind of forget why we're even doing this in the first place. And we need a fresh perspective. You need to get away from the ministry and ask God to give you that higher perspective. Reflect on why you got in this for the first place. Look at the big picture of what you're trying to accomplish. And sometimes our perspective needs to be, life is more than ministry. I used to say my occupation, my vocation, and my recreation are all kids ministry because it's so fun. Well, kids ministry is fun, but it shouldn't be your whole life. Droning is one of my escapes. Sometimes even on my lunch break, I'll just go somewhere and find something. And you know what? Because of that high perspective, I was flying up above my church, and I discovered there was a reservoir, like a giant lake, literally within a mile of my church. And so I drove out there the next day and enjoyed flying the drone around. You need a hobby. It could be droning, but it could be anything. But you need something outside of your ministry so that you keep your ministry in perspective. Your life is not your ministry. Your ministry is something you do because you love God and to serve God and because you're called. You might need to ask yourself, what would I see if I zoomed out? So in this next year, you may want to ask yourself, what do I need to stop doing? And maybe what do I need to start doing so that I can be focused on the big picture? That's my encouragement for you today. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you're subscribed or part of our Facebook group. And thank you so much for your support of Kidology. If there's any way we can serve you or help you, please do not hesitate to ask. Until next time, this is Karl.